This is the Hair of the Dog Comedy Show. We are so thrilled to have you here. This next comic coming to the stage is one of my favorite comedians and people. Welcome to the stage, please, Mr. Jared Wilder, everybody.
Really, honestly, keep it going for a Jay. Honestly, this whole thing, unbelievable. One of my favorite comics and people too. And honestly, the most spectacular beard I've ever seen. Really, I've never had that in my life. Like, all the facial hair I've ever had combined isn't even as cool as he has just right now. Ajay Raj, really, that's why we're here, right? It's fun times. Yeah, I was really excited for this. Also because of the fact that I didn't come from church, well, you know, because I'm Jewish, but also because yesterday I was actually watching a Sister Act marathon, so I feel like I got the point, you know what I mean? It's actually, I like to go Sister Act, and then I like to go into Eddie, where she's the head coach of the New York Knicks, and then into Sister Act 2. It's kind of my version of a whoopie pie. Yeah, actually, incidentally, my favorite part of Sister Act 2, we get to see the actual miseducation of Lauryn Hill. It's just, it's perfect. Thank you, Sister Mary Claridge, for all you've done for me. It's wonderful, wonderful. I'm moving this bad boy out of the way. I actually got to meet my hero the other day. Really, it was, all right, well, it was a gentleman who was polishing off a full rack of baby back ribs, standing up on a moving subway. Yeah, it was both the most disgusting and amazing thing I've ever seen. Truly, it was just, and what was even better about it was that everyone around us was just disgusted. Really, if I could describe to you what it looks like in a facial expression from milk to curdle, that's what was going on with everyone else in the car, right? But not me. This guy and I, we locked eyes, right? I mean, I realized we were gonna be boys. We were gonna be tag team champions of the world, you know? We were going up Mount Disgusting together, and I was not gonna leave his side till I reached the summit. Which at that point in the journey, I was hoping was gonna be maybe an extra set of ribs there for me, you know? Basically, I was his Samwise Gamgee if this was Lord of the Rings, right? I'm gonna make sure those ribs are getting to Mordor. And let me tell you, he did not disappoint along the journey, because every time he wound up polishing off a rib, he dropped it in a little pocket he had on his side. Yeah, so he technically had rib pockets for his rib pockets. He was also wearing cargo pants and a jacket. Just imagine the possibilities, right? If you knew the right spells, you could bring back Jumanji. It was fantastic. And then every time he finished and dropped it in, he proceeded to lick each individual finger. And I'm talking languishing so. He already finished the meal whilst looking in the eyes of everyone who was judging him the entire time. It was priceless. It was like De Niro in Taxi Driver, but with ribs. That's how it was Academy Award winning. Finally, his stop hits Times Square, 42nd Street. We couldn't have picked that one, right? Doors open on up, and he just drops that last rib bone in there, walks on out proud as a peacock. Doors close. I swear to you, you could hear, you could feel the audible exhale. Everyone made it through this group collective experience together. And just when you thought it was safe to go back into the rib-infested waters, doors open on up, he walks back in, he smiles at everybody, bows, and walks out like a thief in the night. I mean, honestly, he deserved a standing ovation. I was about to give it to him, but I had 4 more stops to go. I swear to you, the entire car was gonna turn on me at that point in time. If it was Survivor, I was definitely getting voted off of the island at that point in time. The island of Manhattan, which I'm from, which I like it a lot. Yeah, and actually, I thought to myself afterward, such a shame that he got judged like that. I thought, when was the last time that I got judged that harshly for a food choice that I'd made? And I actually realized it was recently. I had to go do a shop, and it wasn't a big shop, so I didn't do a grocery store. I wound up hitting up a Duane Reade, and I got a whole assortment of items. I got ice cream, milk, eggs, just candy. Basically, it was a bachelor pad special. When I put this down on the counter, the guy looked up at me are you Tom Hanks in Big? Did a child take over your body and you went on a shopping spree? Is your next stop Willy Wonka's chocolate factory? And Then he's just like checking everything out, and at some point looks up at me and says, "Would you like a spoon with that?" And it took me a second, you guys, it really did, because I'm looking down and I'm trying to figure out what it is that I need a spoon with. And that is when I realized he was asking me if I wanted a single serving spoon for the large amount of ice cream that I just bought. Now, let me take that, rewind it back. This isn't a single serving ice cream, that would make sense. It's not a Breyers, it's not a Ben & Jerry's. This was an embarrassing amount of ice cream, you guys. Really, like the only time in our society when it should be okay for you to buy this embarrassingly large amount of ice cream is when you're going through a breakup or you just got fired. I was going through neither. It was a Tuesday. That's where I was at in my life, right? And I was like, wait a second, do I look like such an ice cream addict that apparently I can't make it between this store and like my apartment, between just like ripping this open and start going to town with some cookies and cream? Like I'm Winnie the Pooh, just like, honey. Like just through Times Square, you know? No, it wasn't. And at the same time, I couldn't hate on the guy. Because honestly, when I walked by, what made me stop and think about this was how embarrassingly large it was. And I thought, what company would ever actually distribute that large amount of ice cream, right? I mean, what store in New York City, when space is such a premium, would ever sell that large amount of ice cream, right? I mean, who in their right mind would ever think about buying that deliciously large amount of, is that mint chocolate chip? All right, buddy, you're coming with me. Oh, that's right, it had a handle on it, so you can get a handle on it. That's how ridiculous it was. And then as I'm walking out like Winnie the Pooh with my large ice cream, I got basically targeted by a strip club flyer guy. So it was the 2 for Tuesday of losing my self-esteem. It was very solid. Yes, my name is Jared. No, I'm not Jared from Subway. But I'd like to thank that no-talent ass clown for just sullying the good name for all of us Jareds out there for a decade. A decade of destruction thanks to my good name, thanks to Jared from Subway. And that's why I was so happy about, well, Jared Leto coming back, right? I mean, think about it. Hey, he's an Oscar Award winner, rock star. He's playing the Joker in Suicide Squad, right? Or thank God for the rise of Jared, the Gallery of Jewelry. Really, I've never been to a Jared, the Gallery of Jewelry. I might never go to a Jared, the Gallery of Jewelry, but there is one thing I know for an absolute fact, you guys. It's always better to be associated with a 24-karat diamond and an Oscar Award winner than a 6-inch tuna sub and a pedophile. All right, guys, I'm Jared Wilder. Thank you so very much. Keep it going for Jay, because he really is one of the best, greatest, awesome guys.